Hello and welcome back to the extended Pentagon challenge. This is part 12 and we are in Indonesia with Persipura Jayapura. And last we left off, there was a little bit of the season left, and I'll just quickly run you through how things kind of went with that. So if we go to the last year, if I remember rightly, the live game was against Arema. We then played Persibaya, and this was a 3-3 draw actually. They actually took a 3-0 lead in the first half, and we came storming back with goals from Dwaramuri, Boaz, and Lestalhulu, who equalised there. And a 3-3 draw. As you can see, we thoroughly dominated. But yeah, really quite lucky to probably come back, and a great performance really in the second half to overturn that. Next up we had Barito Putra, and that was a home game and quite an easy 5-2 win. Boaz with 3 and Greg Ricolo with 2. Gibson and Aurito for Barito Putra. We then faced Percy Sam Putra, and it was a 6-2 win. Leicester Hulu, Nwakolo, Jean Alessandra, Dwaramuri, and Hidayatullah getting the goals there for us. Fundi and Jismadi getting the 2 Percy Sam goals. As we continued really good form, considering we were doing poorly when I took over. We were clearly just dominating sides, and this continued away to PSCS with Vermancia, Nicolo and Boaz getting the goals there in a 5-0 win. As we just continued, we just kept going. Final game of the season was against Crescent United, already relegated, and Azar and Nicolo got the goals there. So we took over, we were something like 7th, and in the end we ended up finishing in 4th place. Sriwijaya won the league by 6 points from us. Remember, we were actually higher in the league, but we played a lot less games than everyone else. So really, not a bad effort considering where we were. A lot of games already played when I took over, and we probably we went almost 100% record apart from that draw against Percy Bar away. It was actually a thoroughly good effort. So Sriwijaya, who actually offered me the job, which I didn't take because it would have meant leaving Wangdo early and not winning that league, ended up winning the title. So their manager, whoever took over, actually did a very good job, because he took over the club and guided them to a league title. It's kind of left me more hopeful for this year, but the reason for that is if I go to the transfers that we've done, the business we've done so far, I actually needed to do quite a bit. I felt in myself. So last season, as you can see, these were who came in and who went out. A lot of those guys actually. Sorry, this is the season. So Pakus Sutil came in, really important player actually, because he's 33, he's Spanish, but got the stats I need for left side or centre, and certainly he's done quite well so far. I think it's a good signing, bringing someone like Pakus Sutil in. Again, I don't think we would have been able to get him unless obviously Andres Salazar, the manager, being Spanish, probably helped in that. But yeah, he's got the stats. He's got good quality pretty much across the board for this league. So he was a good signing. Then this was probably a bad signing, simply because Taya Dennis can't play. Yeah, so I brought this guy in on £700 a week, which is a fair bit actually. And I then had a problem in terms of foreigners, or the foreigners that can play in the league. So you're allowed 5 foreigners, but actually only 3 of those can be foreigners outside of Asia. And I kind of misread things, and then thought, well, then I had an extra man. One man had to miss out, and it ended up being Taya Dennis. And actually, you can see he's not played any games. I'm not sure if he's allowed to play in the cup, but yeah, disappointing really. I'm not really sure what to do with him now. But we resolved the immediate positional situation later on in the transfer window. As you can see, quite a lot of people were left last season, and then in continuing, this is all my signings still. We brought in Harry Prasetyo, centre back, pretty decent stats, Indonesian, which is always a bonus because he's not then stuck to he doesn't take up one of the foreign player spots. So 29 years old, he's actually been pretty much a mainstay. He's actually pretty good centre back for this level. Because you can see 2.5 stars, so he's good. But I needed a little bit of depth in that position. David Carney, the Australian, came in. This guy basically came in as kind of the replacement for Dennis Teo. Obviously, he counts as an Asian player, and I think his stats have actually deteriorated a little bit. As you can see, he's 34. But for a left back, he's actually got decent stats. Maybe lacking a bit in pace and mobility, but generally speaking, for this level, good stats. Although again, he's only listed as a in fact, he's definitely deteriorated because when he came to the club, he was slightly better than Teo Dennis, I believe. So interesting. You see, we got all these left backs and they're actually all pretty much the same quality. So so David Carney came in as kind of a player could play, and then this was a really good find. I was just randomly looking on the Indonesia, the country, looking in, and it's got the list of top players, and this guy was unattached, Stefano Lillipali. I was thinking, I looked at him, I thought, well, he fit in nicely, and give a little bit of competition to Nicolo, and so he's come in and he's been superb, really. Percy Boyer, for whatever reason, let him go last season, or either let him go or he wouldn't sign a new contract. But anyway, he comes in and he's of significant quality. As you can see, he's a star player, so a really good find. Quite a lot of guys went out on loan. These are all kind of youngsters who probably wouldn't get any kind of first team football, so I decided to let them leave to lower league clubs, generally speaking. So let's go through the fixtures. I think this episode will be a bit of a longer one, just simply because there's quite a lot to cover. So fixtures for the new season, and we started off with a hell of a lot of friendlies. There was such a long period between when I first took over and the end of the season, and between the end of the season and the start of the new season is just a huge gap. It only starts in November. So we start off with a ton of friendlies, and we beat Bangli 6-0 away. Sitil, Vemensia, Boaz, and Rumour Open. Again, I'm just going to cover these quickly. Harimau, Tapanui, we won 3-0. Gazma, 6-0. We lost to Percy Pessel, who was, they're like a lower league side, of quite a really poor result. Just quickly going into the stats, it's not like we had a ton of shots. Really, we probably dominated the game more than Percy Pell did, but they got the goal, and that was curtains. We then went on a huge run of just keeping clean sheets. So, if you look at from basically August until October, there was just a run of just keeping clean sheets, apart from the Percy Pell result. We then played Persisco. And that was a 3-0 win. Then played PS Siak, and they were in a 6-0 win. PSKT was a 6-0 win. Percy Koba was a 6-0 win. As you can see, big repetition. Percy Ram, 3-0. Percy Pam, who are in our division, I believe, was a 4-0 away win. PSPP was a 5-0 win. Then we invited Anyang, a South Korean club, for Boaz's testimonial. Unfortunately, he was injured, so he actually didn't play, but that was a 2-2 draw. Then we played Percy Pestle again because I wanted a bit of retribution, and actually we were lucky not to lose 1-0 again. Pakistatil with a 93rd minute goal as it finished 1-1. So these guys seem to have one on us. Then it was PS Trisakti in a 4-0 win, and that was our final friendly. So then the league kicked off in earnest, and we started off against PSCS with a good 3-1 win. And Boaz, Vermancia and Lillipali getting the goals really early there in response to Ian Cabe. So really all the goals coming early. And then after that, both teams kind of shut up shop, so to speak. We definitely had opportunities to make it more, but it ended 3-1. Next game was against PSPS, and that was a 3-0 win away with Alessandra, Vermancia and Prasetyo getting the goals to hand us a handy victory as we started the league in earnest, in good form. And then Persipam, we'd already had a friendly against them, and then we absolutely obliterated them at home. Stefano Lillipali with 2, Harry Presetio with 1, Boaz and Azar getting a late one to beat Persipam 5-1. Their goal coming from M-Bomb. But yeah, so we started off really, really well, really shooting up the league. Percy Tema next, 2-0 win at home. Wijaya and Lillipali getting the goals there, as really pretty much the Percy Tema didn't really create much at all, and a good win, and that made it basically 4 wins on the trot, and we made that 5 when we visited Persiwa and won by 4 goals to 2. Boaz with 2, Nwikolo and Sutil getting those. At one point we were losing. Actually, Boaz gave us the lead, but they came back, and late on as well, with only 20 minutes to go. So it was good response really, from going 2-1 down late on to win the game 4-2. And next up we had Percy Sam Putra in a 4-1 win. Wijaya, Boaz and Sutil and Alessandro with a penalty, killing the game off. Just Maddie getting the goal for Percy Sam. So that made from the start of the season, Percy Sam, that was something like 6 wins on the trot, and then we had an absolute shocker against Persella. I don't think they're too bad. Let's have a look at where they're expected to finish. They're 5th, so they're not a bad side, but really we should be beating them probably 9 times out of 10, especially at home. And we started off so well. We had a goal, an own goal from Persella for us. Billy Big Maris getting the goal, but Cord Kleck, our Peruvian right back, got himself sent off, and things just went to pot. Wibauer got 2, Che got 2, and we, in the end, it was a disastrous result. And I think we've been reading a little bit from this ever since. Okay, we did go and win some more games after that, but that result really did kind of have a effect, general effect on morale. Palito and X there, decent side, actually could have won the league last season. They had an outside chance, but we dispatched them with Lillipali and Sutil getting the goals, the new signings, showing that they were good enough to dispose of the of last year's potential hopeful champions. But this was a good response. I was quite happy with this. I thought this is a difficult game actually, playing Palita, and good to see we won. Then against Persephone away, the newly promoted club, and Boaz dealt with them quite handsomely. Again, quite an easy game really, as we ran out 2-0 winners. Moving on, we went to PS, or we hosted PSSB, and Stefano Lillipali, John Alessandra and Boaz getting the goals, as Nurdin scored for PSSB in a 4-1 win for Persipura. Good win, just to keep things going. The Piala Indonesia, the cup, started up, and we were drawn against lower league opposition in Persikubar, and the first leg kind of ended any kind of contest that might have existed between the two clubs, as we won 7-1. Jean Alexandre with 2 penalties, Paka Sutil, David Carney, Boaz, Lestu and Lillipali, and Alessandro could have had his hat-trick of penalties. He actually missed one just before half-time. Salosa getting their goal, but 7-1, and that pretty put paid to the whole tie. So quite glad that it wasn't a tight one, and we had to do anything against Persikubar in the return leg. Next up, we had Sriwijaya, and we lost the reigning champions on their ground. They took a 2-goal lead through Zainul Haq, and then made that 3-0 with Privitalis Sai. Boaz did pull one back, but Saiful Kurnuwan just went up the other end and scored again to make it 4-1. After the half, Boaz did get one back, but we were dead and buried by then. Really even game, really. Sriwijaya just seemed to be better at putting the ball in the back of the net in this game, and a shot across our bows really, because I was thinking if we could beat Sriwijaya, we would be, for a long period we were kind of a little bit ahead of everyone, and that pulled us back quite a bit. Next game was a Persikubar return leg, and it was an easy 3-1 win in the end. Boaz with 2, Stefano Lillipali with 1. Aswan Ali did get a consolation for Persikubar, but the final aggregate result was 10-2 to Persipura. Percy Kubar pretty much dominated all the way through this, and well, as in they would dominate. They didn't dominate the game. As you know, as we went through to the next round. Next up, we had Percy Bayer, and this was a very disappointing one. A game we actually really dominated. Greg Nicolo put us up early, and then we just, we had chances, floundered them. Really should have put them in the back of the net, and then we get punished. We threw weaker. With Say scored in the 92nd minute. Percy Bayer get a point from our ground, and just all round poor. Just not killing off games. And we were punished, and that was a tone of things to come. As we went up to Barito Putra, admittedly this was only 2 days later, so there was quite a lot of changes in personnel going into the game, and Handik Effendi got their only goal. The stats kind of lie a bit because, to be honest, Barito Putra actually were dominating until kind of the last 10 minutes when we kind of trying to find that equaliser. Started actually expressing ourselves and attacking a little bit, but a 1-0 loss, and form was a little bit patchy. And we hosted Arema, and I was thinking, come on boys, if we beat Arema, we'll still be top, and and everything's fine. And we took a 2-0 lead, and I was very happy going into that. And the boys seemed to respond to the half-time team talk, but they went to pot in the second half. Kim got their goal, Satia Wan then 10 minutes from time got the equaliser, and it happened all over again. Not killing off games, poor defending, loss of concentration towards the end of games, and it's 2-2. And that's the fixture so far. Today's live game will be actually against Deltras FC at home, and I'm really needing to win that. So if we just look at the league quickly, as you can see now, we're equal on points with Arema. Sriwijaya, actually, if they win their game in hand, can go also level on points, and it's a very close race at the moment. Okay, it's early days in the league, but I'm already thinking this might be quite a difficult task. I'm quietly still confident, because I think when it all said and done, if we can get out of this blip, I think we'll do well, and I think the likes of Arema will drop points, and so will Sriwijaya. I mean, last season, they lost. Sriwijaya lost 4 games, drew 12. So, okay, Arema the year before actually got a lot more points. But so, I'm thinking, if we can hit 70, 75 points this season, which is still a bit of an ask, I think we'll be okay. So we'll see how things go. But at the moment, lying in second place, still confident. It'd be very good to win this now, because obviously, if we don't win the league this year, then I'll have to stay for another year with Percy Pura, and that's another year from Andres Salazar's career that kind of drifts by. And we kind of want to get some of these countries done quickly, so that we can effectively move on. So let's just cover the form, I guess, player form being what it is, and pick out some of the top guys. So there's no doubt about it. Stefano Lillipali has really been on form. Lots of good stuff he's doing. 7 goals in the league already, 748 rating. A lot, fair amount of assists, lots of man of the match awards, and he's been an all-round great buy. Boaz, already was at the club, pretty quality striker for this level. Obviously, Indonesian kind of legend with 33 goals and 66 appearances for his country, and he's just been absolutely smashing it, because 11 goals, 6 assists, 7.56 rating. He's having a very, very good season. And he looks like a top striker. And again, Jean Sandra, Haitian player, plays in the centre midfield, and he's having a good season as well. 4 goals, 4 assists, 7-28. So he looks to be doing quite well. Pakasitil came in. He's done a good job. 7-17. 3 goals, 6 assists, 1 player of the match. Again, a good signing, I think, for me. And Greg Nuencola, actually, he's not been playing as much, because obviously he's kind of been forced a little bit out the side with the signing of, what's his name? I just forgot it. Lillipali. So he's only played 8 games, 2 goals, 1 assist, but again, good rating. When he's played, he's played pretty well. So, I mean, we're doing all right. I think the form's just caved in a little bit. and that's disappointing. But hopefully we can improve at this point, and hopefully put some more pressure on Arema and Sriwijaya. One thing I forgot to do actually last time, and I did it in the last video, was I actually changed the leagues. So India's now gone. Obviously, we're not going to go back. And I was thinking of which nation to add. I've been adding South American leagues. Kind of trying to. I think I'm leaving Europe till last, so I'm adding in the weaker leagues from effectively the continents that aren't loaded. And at the moment I'm kind of focusing on South America. So we already had Peru, and then with oh no, didn't mean to do that. Oh shit. Yeah. Oh, about to say. Okay, don't delete it. Jesus Christ. Didn't mean to do that. Okay. So. No, so right, okay, back to what the hell was I talking about? Right, Colombia. Yeah, we added Colombia because I thought, well, it was between Chile and Uruguay and Colombia, and I thought, well, Uruguay's. I've heard of some of their sides. I haven't heard of many of the Colombian sides. You know, in terms of Uruguay got Penarol and Nacional, and obviously quite a lot of good players. Not saying Colombia have a lot of good players coming out there. But I think generally Uruguay's slightly stronger league than Colombia. Maybe just on historical purposes. I don't know whether they're better now. But I thought Colombia would be a better addition. Anyway, so that takes us up to pretty much up to speed with things. Basically, I'm gonna do the live game now. So we got Deltras in a few days' time, and I'll just go through the days until we face them. So scout and report. I mean, the guys now have picked up the tactics, so I'm, okay, we've had a bit of a blip, but I'm expecting to beat these guys. If we don't beat them, then if we don't beat Deltras, then we are really in a blip, a really bad one as well, because it's if you're going for the title, you can't afford too many of these draws at home and losing at home to weaker sides. So I don't really mind if we lose to the likes of Arema and Sriwijaya because they're good sides, but when you start losing to Deltras or drawing against Deltras, so it's very important that we win this game. So I'm just thinking as well about how this challenge is going. If I quickly check, Salazar, yeah, he's 31 now. So I think realistically, I mean, I'm going to keep going with this save until basically I do achieve my my goals, and them, there are to win every league, so every stock league. I know some guys on some of the forums I've been looking at have kind of been doing challenges where they've got leagues that have been loaded in, and I kind of regret not kind of downloading those database enhancements and being able to play those leagues. But I guess you don't know the stability of that, so it's all the stock leagues. I did say not Northern Ireland or Wales or Ireland, but I'll see how I feel about those. But basically, with this guy, I think I'm going to go into these 65, 70, and then potentially obviously bring in a son of his, to continue the legacy, so to speak, if we haven't achieved everything by then. And I think I'll name him, or his nationality will be wherever we will work out, by his age, where Andres would have been, and then work out roughly, where he was born, therefore giving me that nationality. But that's well into the future. So you can see the record at the moment. Information, we're still continental, still at 85%. Those are the languages we've learned. So yeah, so hopefully we can beat Deltras. Let's certainly hope so. We kind of we definitely need the points. We need also a win just to snap us out of this kind of crap morale that we've kind of had. The Boaz, Lily Pally on the left, Shaw, Nuicolo, Carney, Alessandra, Asapa, Wijaya, Presetio. No Sitil then. I don't know what's happened to Sitil. Yeah, it's 95%. I think I'd rather have Sitil there. Lily Pally instead of Nuicolo. Vermon's side is injured, Sakani's fine, I guess there. Have we not got any better one? Yeah, that'll do, I think. Yeah, that'll do. So let's go ahead with that. So, Deltras, normally not not one of the better teams in. So where they're in a relegation place. So yeah, we need to win. I will not take anything but a win. We better comply with that, because I'm not going to be happy if we don't get anything but a win. So always do this. Always do the same thing. Need to change the commentary. Need to bring this down to about there. And let's start up. So first highlight: Kumarudin to Carney. Kumarudin, Lillipali, back to Carney. Oh, what a finish! 1-0. Good start. He absolutely levered that in the top left, top left corner. Great finish. And that's exactly the start I was looking for. So Kumarudin, Asapa, back to Asapa, Alessandra, Lillipali, Boaz, Carney again. Oh, it's 2-0. Oh, he's having an absolute day to remember, Carney. Great finish. And we're 2-0 up against Deltras. Carney incisive down that right hand side so far. Kumarudin, everything's coming down this right hand side. Lillipali goes down. Asapa. Oh, Alessandra wins the header. Asapa with a back heel to Kumarudin. Kumarudin to Asapa. Asapa back to Kumarudin. Carney sees Lillipali's run. Lillipali shoots. Oh, good save. I think he actually hit the crossbar there. And it remains 2-0, but we are piling on the pressure. And I'd like to see us get a third, just to give us that extra breathing room. Saputra with the goal kick, and it comes out to their man Darmaran. Sandra for Deltras, back to Reynaldo Lobo to Eka, and they're being forced back here. Back to Sandra on the ball, back to the keeper Saputra, and that was good closing. Asapa to Boaz. Oh, he's just put it wide. You'd expect him to put that in the back of the net. This guy's normally lethal, but poor finish there. So still 2-0. And looks like it's coming to half time. David Carney picked up a knock. That's not good. Yeah, I think I'll keep him on because he's having a very good game. And let's try and motivate these guys. Yeah, okay. That's not bad. Well, I'm going to leave the team as is, 2-0, and let's see how we go in the second half. Lillipali on the ball, but that's the end of the highlight. Kumarudin, everything down that same wing, but this time Darmawan on the ball. Eka, Siswanto for Deltras. Oh, that ball's poor. Bonefo gets it away. Satil, the Spaniard, through to Lillipali. Lillipali to Boaz. Boaz out wide to Carney. Carney puts in a Sapa. Oh, Sapa shoots and scores. And it's 3-0. That's his first goal. The youngster coming up from the youth team into the main team has put Percy Pura 3-0 up here. And it's looking like a return to winning ways potentially. Alessandra to Lillipali. Lillipali to Wijaya. Wijaya down the wing. Satil. What can he do? Early ball in. And Wijaya picks that back up. Early ball in again. And Asapa picks it up. This doesn't shoot. Lillipali. Boaz. He's got it in. Through the keeper almost. That's his 15th goal of the season. And it's 4-0 Percy Pura. And this is turning into a bit of a rout at the moment. Oh no. Stefano Lillipali's got injured. Well, we got a ready-made replacement in the Polo. I'll leave that. Everyone else is playing pretty well, so let's keep that going. Carney's injured, but he's having a 9.2. The guy's having an absolute stormer. Kumarudin's now bloody injured. Let's see if we got any. We haven't really got any replacements. Carney could go back to left or right, and then I could put in this guy, but he's injured anyway. But anyway. Let's keep going. 4-0 at the moment. 15 minutes to go. Carney to Asapa. Back to Carney. Carney with a long ball. Keeper fluffs it. Satil puts it in. That was an absolute disaster show there from Saputra. What was he doing? He kind of comes out for it, flaps at it, and the ball, I don't even think Satil needed to touch it. It probably would have gone in by itself. Absolutely abysmal goalkeeping. And let's give Boaz a little bit of a rest and bring on Les Tulu up front. So 5-0 and a great return to form for Percy Pura. And this should be the end. Saputra kicks it out. Igbonefo. Raka Siwa picks it up. Wahit with the ball. Going down a bit of a cul-de-sac, but finds Darmawan. And that's the end of that. It's a big win for Percy Pura. 5-0. Player of the game, David Carney. Undoubtedly, I agree. 2 goals, 2 assists. Absolutely storming performance from the man. And yeah, so a good win there as we kind of came back. And I think we were expected probably to put them to the sword, and we did. And that's good to see. So let's just go and see this. Lobster Ribble. I guess our Delta Rias, maybe Deltras, I presume, are called the lobsters or something. Lobster Ribble. What the hell does that mean? Does this tell you their nicknames? Oh, the lobster. Okay, I get it. Yeah, so they're the lobster. Okay. That's a great line. Lobster Ribble. Anyway, 5-0, as we know. Jubilant, the fans, after that win. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Anyway, guys, that is the end of this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed the live game and finding out how we're doing at Percy Pura here in Indonesia. Looking at the fixtures, why don't we do that? So looking at the fixtures, obviously quite a way to go. I'll probably bring you back either for like something like the cup final if we make it that far, or if it heats up sometime, some game later on. I'm hoping that our form continues and we can force our way to a league title, because I think this club has now not won the title for quite some time. If I go back to history and past winners, it's been 2014, 4 years, and really not really featured last 3 years. You're not even in second place. So we're trying to return Percy Pura to, I guess, where they belong, I would say, at the summit of Indonesian football, and let's see if we can do that. So join me in the next episode, which will be episode 13, and I hope you enjoyed this, and yeah, I'm out.